Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I need you to listen closely for the next few seconds, because what I'm about to say may unsettle you. A woman can spend months with a man, smile with him, sleep beside him, laugh at his jokes, and still not be in love with him. And the reason this happens is because most men don't know how to recognize the tiny, private signals she only reveals when her heart is genuinely opened. Before we go deeper, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because this might just shift the way you read women forever. I'm not here to flatter you, I'm here to tell you the truth, the kind men rarely get access to. You think women fall in love because of grand gestures or perfect looks? No. A woman falls in love quietly, subtly, in ways she thinks you'll never notice. Her love doesn't announce itself. It leaks through cracks, through micro-expressions, through the small risks she takes only when she feels safe with you. And if you don't understand these hidden signs, you will miss the moment she chooses you, not as an option, but as something irreplaceable. There's a reason so many men spend years feeling confused, blindsided, or betrayed. They mistake attention for affection, affection for commitment, and commitment for love. But love in a woman behaves differently. When she's truly in love, her guard shifts. Her tone changes. Her emotional patterns become more honest, even when she tries to hide it. It's not glamorous, it's vulnerable, sometimes it's messy, but real love always leaves footprints. Most women won't admit this, but being in love makes them a little clumsy emotionally. They stop performing, they stop calculating, they stop pretending to be the perfect version of themselves. Instead, they reveal the raw version. The one that's uncertain, hopeful, and a little scared of losing you. If you've ever wondered why a woman who wasn't emotional suddenly starts to care too much, or why a woman who was always confident suddenly becomes shy around you, that's not weakness, that's transparency. And transparency is a woman's most honest form of love. So today, I'm going to tell you the 7 behaviors she shows only when she's truly in love. Not infatuated, not curious, not entertained, but emotionally invested in a way she can't fake, even if she wanted to. A woman who is truly in love with you does something she rarely does with anyone else. She lets you see the parts of her she normally hides, not the curated version she shows the world, not the polished personality she uses at work or around friends, but the unfiltered version, the one who feels deeply, worries too much, overthinks everything, and still hopes you won't judge her for it. Most men never witness this side of a woman because she only unlocks it for someone who has touched her emotionally in a way she didn't expect. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to demand it. It happens because her heart decides it's safe with you before her mind catches up. One of the biggest mistakes men make is assuming that when a woman loves you, she will say it openly. She won't, not at first. Women are taught to protect their feelings, to avoid appearing too attached, too vulnerable, too invested. So, instead of telling you, she shows you through subtle shifts in her behavior. She'll tell you stories she's never said out loud before. She'll open up about insecurities she hides from everyone else. She'll let you in on her private fears, not because she wants comfort, but because she trusts you enough to let you see her emotional fingerprints. You'll notice something else too. Her energy around you changes. Even when she tries to stay composed, there's a softness in her voice, a warmth in her eyes, a slight hesitation before she speaks, almost like she's checking if her truth is safe with you. Love makes her more attentive, not because she's trying to impress you, but because she's unintentionally prioritizing you. You start becoming a mental priority instead of a casual thought. She begins to care about the little details. She remembers things you said months ago, things you forgot you even mentioned. She notices your moods, your quiet moments, the way you speak when something is bothering you. She pays attention because your emotional world matters to her. A woman in love studies you, not in a controlling way, but in a deeply caring one. It's her instinct to understand the man who has captured her heart. And the reason this behavior is so important is simple. Women only reveal their true emotional landscape when they believe the man in front of them will handle it with respect. Real love doesn't make her louder, it makes her more honest. When a woman is truly in love, something profound shifts in how she invests in you. She begins to protect your emotional well-being in ways she doesn't even consciously realize. This isn't about controlling you or fixing you. It's about caring for you on a level that feels instinctive to her. She becomes more attuned to your silence, more aware of the things you don't say, and more sensitive to the slightest changes in your mood. She notices when your energy drops, even if you're trying to hide it with a joke or a casual, "I'm fine." A woman in love doesn't just hear your words. She listens to your energy. And here's the truth most men never learn. When a woman loves you, she becomes deeply invested in your emotional safety. She watches how the world affects you. She wants to know what burdens you carry, not so she can fix them, but because she wants to walk beside you while you face them. You'll see this in the way she asks questions that go deeper than surface level. Instead of, "How was your day?" she asks, "What happened today that's weighing on you?" It's subtle, but the intention behind it is powerful. She genuinely wants to understand where your mind goes when it drifts away. Another sign she's truly in love is the way she softens during conflict. A woman who isn't emotionally invested may argue to win, defend her ego, or shut down completely. But a woman in love argues differently. She argues with the intention to reconnect, not disconnect. Her tone changes, her defenses drop. She becomes more patient, more willing to understand your side, more open to compromise. Love makes her prioritize the bond over the battle. She also starts to consider your future in her decisions, even without announcing it. She's not planning your entire life. She's simply adjusting her path so that it aligns more naturally with yours. She becomes more thoughtful with her time, more intentional with her words, more selective about anything that could jeopardize what she feels with you. Her love shifts her behavior long before she ever admits it out loud. But perhaps the most revealing sign is this. She worries about losing you, not in a possessive way, but in the quiet, internal way that shows she values what you share. When a woman is truly in love, your presence becomes a source of peace, and the idea of your absence becomes a silent fear she carries carefully in her heart. There's a moment in every woman's heart where love crosses from emotion into action, and this is where most men finally start to see what was invisible before. When she's truly in love with you, she doesn't just show affection. She invests effort, real effort, the kind that takes time, thought, and emotional courage. She starts doing things that make your life easier, not because she feels obligated, but because making your world lighter genuinely brings her joy. It could be something as small as sending you a message at the exact moment you needed reassurance, or something bigger like adjusting her schedule so she can be there for you when it matters. These are not random actions. They are deliberate signals of emotional prioritization. And the interesting thing is this, she doesn't expect applause. A woman in love doesn't broadcast her efforts. She doesn't keep score. She doesn't perform acts of care to prove anything. She does them quietly, consistently, in ways that most men don't even notice until they look back and realize how deeply she was showing love through support rather than words. It's in these subtle acts that her heart speaks the loudest. You'll also notice a change in her vulnerability. Love makes her braver with you. She starts sharing dreams she's never expressed, ideas she's kept hidden, and fears she's been carrying alone. She lets you see the version of her that isn't polished or perfect, the version she protects from the rest of the world. When she opens that door, she's not just letting you in, she's trusting you with the rawest part of her identity. That level of emotional exposure is something she gives only to the man she truly loves. Another sign is how she integrates you into her emotional routine. She starts reaching out to you first, not out of neediness, but because you've become her emotional anchor. When something good happens, you're the first person she tells. When something scares her, you're the one she seeks for grounding. Her instinct begins to pull toward you, and that instinct reveals a level of attachment she could never fabricate. But the most powerful sign is this. She becomes protective of the bond itself. She avoids actions that could hurt you. She pays attention to how her choices affect the connection. She becomes more intentional, more mindful, more committed than she was before. A woman doesn't guard something unless she deeply values it, especially her heart. One of the most overlooked truths about a woman in love is how she communicates her care through patience. Real love isn't impulsive. It isn't about dramatic displays or public declarations. It's about showing up consistently, even when it's inconvenient or emotionally demanding. You'll notice she waits for your emotional space when you're stressed, respects your boundaries when you need distance, and doesn't pressure you for affection or attention. This patience isn't a lack of passion, it's a sign of deep respect and investment. She understands that lasting love requires more than desire. It requires timing, understanding, and unwavering presence. She also begins to notice the little things about you that most people overlook. Your habitual gestures, your subtle reactions, the way your brow furrows when something's on your mind, or the way you unconsciously fidget when uncomfortable. She sees it all. And she doesn't use this knowledge manipulatively. Instead, she uses it to support you, to anticipate your needs without being asked, to provide comfort before you even realize you need it. This attentiveness is not learned behavior, it's instinctive care. Only a woman who is emotionally invested will go this deep. Another unmistakable sign is the way she prioritizes trust and honesty above everything else. She becomes fearless in expressing her thoughts, even the ones that could make her look vulnerable or imperfect. She trusts that you will respond with empathy and not judgment. This is huge because vulnerability is rare, and a woman only risks it when she believes the man in front of her can handle the truth of who she is. Love strips away pretense. It leaves authenticity in its place. She also demonstrates loyalty not through promises, but through action. Her commitment is visible in consistency, in remembering details, in showing up during moments that matter. You'll see it in how she protects the emotional bond you share, how she advocates for your happiness, and how she consciously avoids behaviors that could erode the trust you've built. When a woman truly loves, her loyalty is like gravity. It quietly holds everything together, even in chaos. Finally, a woman in love challenges you, not aggressively, but constructively. She encourages growth, calls out patterns that hurt you, and pushes you to be your better self. She does this not to control, but because she believes in you. And she does it because she loves you enough to envision a future where you thrive, not just survive. This combination of patience, attentiveness, honesty, loyalty, and constructive challenge is something she only shows when her heart is fully invested. And here's the final truth that most men never truly understand. When a woman is truly in love, she chooses you, not because of convenience, not because of comfort, but because her heart has decided that you are irreplaceable. This choice isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's quiet, almost imperceptible, a lingering look, a gentle touch, a subtle shift in priorities that only you notice. She doesn't need to prove it to anyone else. She doesn't need social validation. Her commitment is internal, unwavering, and deeply personal. That's the kind of love that lasts beyond infatuation, beyond lust, beyond temporary attraction. You'll notice she makes sacrifices without complaint. She adjusts, compromises, and bends in ways that feel natural because her emotional investment is genuine. This isn't about losing herself or giving up her identity. It's about consciously choosing to align her life with yours because the connection matters more than ego, convenience, or routine. She becomes someone who adds stability and calm to your life, not chaos. And this is rare because most people love only what they can control or what benefits them. True love is different. It prioritizes the other person without erasing the self. She also expresses affection in private ways that speak louder than grand gestures. A text in the middle of a busy day, remembering the smallest details you casually mentioned, or showing up exactly when you need support without being asked. These are the ways she communicates that she's present, invested, and emotionally connected. Love in a woman is lived through actions first, words second. And if you learn to recognize these quiet indicators, you will understand her depth without her ever needing to announce it. Finally, she becomes protective of the emotional space you share. She defends it, nurtures it, and invests in it carefully because she knows how fragile and valuable it is. She doesn't sabotage it with games, jealousy, or manipulation. She strengthens it with patience, attention, honesty, and empathy. When a woman is truly in love, she isn't just present for the good moments. She's committed to weathering the hard ones too. She stays when it's easier to leave. She listens when it's easier to judge. She loves when it's easier to retreat. If you pay attention, if you truly observe and understand these behaviors, you will see a woman's love in its most authentic, unfiltered form. And when that happens, you won't need grand declarations to know it. You'll feel it deeply, quietly, and undeniably.